Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Spurs Up Show, best Gamecocks podcast on the internet. Today is Wednesday, September the 8th, 2021. Today's show, I give my full takeaways from Shane Beamer's presser as the Gamecocks head coach speaks to the media ahead of this weekend's game as South Carolina travels to Greenville, North Carolina to take on the East Carolina Pirates. Guys, I'll give you my full thoughts. Also, the updated depth chart that came out yesterday ahead of this weekend's game. Also, it's Wednesday, so of course, we're talking gambling. Best bet for South Carolina, East Carolina, as well as SEC gambling picks for week 2 of the SEC season. Guys, I look to improve on one hell of a start. The 2021 season, as yours truly went 12-2 last week in week 1, folks. We are on fire, and we've got one heck of a slate of games this weekend, guys. So again, SEC gambling picks for week 2. We'll look to improve on our record for the 2021 football season, guys. We got a packed show here on a Wednesday, and it's all brought to you by our friends over at Upstate Movers Group. Guys, Upstate Movers Group, superior moving service. They bring care and attention the companies can't offer because they're just too busy maintaining trucks and profiting off of them instead of focusing on service. Guys, service is what separates Upstate Movers Group from the competition. They're not a trucking company. They're a moving services company, and they're also employee-owned co-op. The movers are paid twice the industry average, and everyone on the crew is invested in your success. They have dedicated professional crew members, and they also offer black glove service. They offer end-to-end packing services, custom crating and packaging for special items, and cleaning services as well. They're founded by Greenville natives and University of South Carolina alumni, guys, so a Gamecock-owned small business. They also offer 20 years of project management moving experience, and they can offer logistics and solutions that traditional moving companies simply do not have the skills for. Guys, whether in the upstate or across the state of South Carolina, if you have any moving needs in 2021, be sure to check out our friends over at Upstate Movers Group. You can find them on social media at Upstate Movers Group. Of course, if you have any other questions, go to their website, upstatemoversgroup.com. That's upstatemoversgroup.com. Be sure to check them out and tell them Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. Let's get it. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, happy Wednesday, happy hump day. Hope you're doing well. I'm Chris Phillips, your host of the Spurs Up Show. As always, appreciate you guys tuning in, guys. Hope this finds you well, no matter where you are, what you're doing, whether you're on the commute, you're in the office, you're on the job, you've got the day off, you're in class, maybe, whatever it might be. Appreciate you all tuning in, guys. Thank you all so much. And I want to start there, guys. Thank you again for all your love, your support as you guys continue to rock and roll with the content and everything we do, guys. The numbers have been through the roof. Obviously, we've been locked in, focused on football season, producing great content, putting value and positive energy out in the universe. And guys, you guys have continued to rock along with the content and show love and show support each and every single step of the way. Again, you guys were there through the preseason. I knew that this football season was going to be special. I knew this football season, business-wise, on field, off field, everything was going to be a lot of fun. And man, oh man, we're not even that far in this thing, and it's already exceeded all of my expectations. So again, guys, thank you all so much. Hope you're all doing well. It's a beautiful day here in the city, by the way, as we count down the days to the Gamecocks' first road trip of the 2021 football season as Shane Beamer takes his squad on the road to take on the Pirates of East Carolina. Guys, before we get into everything, again, we're talking Shane Beamer's presser, depth chart. Of course, it's Wednesday. We're talking gambling. One very exciting piece of news that I want to share with you all. As many of you or most of you or all of you should know, we are beginning our watch parties for the 2021 football season this weekend. Of course, we've partnered, as I've told you before, with Carolina Ale House watch parties. We'll be doing them all across the state of South Carolina. This weekend, of course, we won't be in Greenville, North Carolina for the game. Instead, we'll be in Greenville, South Carolina, downtown Greenville, specifically in the upstate, as we watch the Gamecocks take on the Pirates. Of course, guys, you all know the drill. I'm sure you've seen the graphics at this point, or you've heard me talk about it. Doors open at 11. Kickoff will be at noon. Well, guys, very exciting update to that. Was able to meet and talk with the Carolina Ale House folks actually yesterday, and we were discussing some different ideas and some ways we could give back to you all and to those who are going to come out. Guys, very excited to announce, for those specifically who attend the watch party this Saturday at Carolina Ale House in downtown Greenville, South Carolina, specifically the downtown location. That is where we'll be, downtown Greenville, South Carolina. For those of you who do attend that, and you let your server and or bartender know, you guys are all going to get 10% off your entire purchase. It doesn't matter if it's just food, if it's just beer, if it's food and beer, no matter what it is, 10% off just for showing up. So, guys, even more incentive to come hang out with yours truly, come kick it, come talk Gamecocks, and, of course, come watch the Gamecocks and cheer on the boys as we look to get a massive early season non-conference victory at ECU. So again, guys, would love to see you out there. Really excited to partner with a bunch of upstate Gamecocks, or party, I should say, with a bunch of upstate Gamecocks and hang out with you all and meet you. And like I've told you guys before, man, my favorite part, I'll say honestly, my favorite part of doing all this is getting to meet all the fantastic Gamecocks and all the great people I've been able to shake hands with and, you know, build relationships with. I think I've told you guys this before. You know, the reason I love the live shows and the watch parties and doing things in person like that is because, you know, with many of you, we've been able to build relationships and chat and the power of social media and the power of the Daily Crow and everything we do with the content and all that great stuff. But I still believe in 2021, I still believe in the power of a handshake. I believe in the power of seeing someone in person, the power of saying thank you to you all and giving you an in-person thank you, and the thank you that you guys all deserve for rocking with TSUS, rocking with everything we do. So again, I am extremely excited to be partnered up with Carolina Ale House for this football season. Extremely excited to get to the upstate and really give back to the upstate Gamecocks. I know you guys, you don't get nearly as much love as you deserve, especially for what you put up with throughout the year, specifically with those folks in the orange and purple up there dealing with that on a daily basis. But really, really excited to also offer, like I said, as long as you let your server, your bartender, whoever it is, know that you are there, you're there for TSUS, you're there for the Spurs Up Show, you're going to get 10% off your entire order. Also, guys, we're going to be doing giveaways at the watch parties. Of course, like I said, we're downtown Greenville this weekend. For the Georgia game, we will be at the Harbison location, and a full schedule, I believe, of the watch parties for this season will come out sooner rather than later. Again, it's going to be really, really cool stuff, and really want to give back to you guys. For those especially who do choose to come out to show love, to support, and again, come out and cheer on the boys and cheer on the Gamecocks. So again, really excited. Like I said, guys, this Saturday, September the 11th, downtown Greenville, South Carolina, official TSUS watch party as South Carolina takes on ECU. Doors open at 11. Kickoff at noon. And like I said, let them know you're there with TSUS. You're going to get 10% off your order. Hey, that's an extra beer. That's an extra appetizer. That's whatever the heck you want. And again, yours truly will be there. So like I said, guys, really excited to party with a bunch of upstate Gamecocks and cheer on the boys and watch the boys get a big, big victory over ECU on Saturday. All right, with that being said, that's out of the way. Let's move into the meat of the show, folks. And we'll first start with Shane Beamer, his presser. Not a lot of crazy things to get into here. Nothing like last week where we had the Zeb Nolan announcement and the first ever depth chart of the 2021 season and of the Shane Beamer era. Some highlights, though, from what Shane Beamer said yesterday. First things first, the thing that stood out to me, Kevin Harris, Shane Beamer saying he will play on Saturday. Very, very exciting news for a football team that you think certainly is going to be leaning on the run game. How much of a positive impact can Kevin Harris have on the run game? Of course, guys, last week, 254 yards rushing, but we all agreed, right? It wasn't it wasn't that dominant rushing performance that I think all of us really expected going into that game against EIU. Can Kevin Harris be that spark, if you will, that spark plug? And again, it's an embarrassment of riches, like we talked about yesterday. It's an embarrassment of riches at the running back position, but Kevin Harris, getting him back, obviously a major boost for this football team. Also, your starting quarterback, or your quarterback, Luke Doty. Luke Doty speaking to the media yesterday. Shane Beamer speaking on his status. Obviously, it sounds like to me, if he's 100%, if he's ready to go, he is going to play and he's going to start the football game. But Luke Doty saying he is expecting to be at 110% for Saturday's game. Of course, we're going to continue to monitor his status and what Shane Beamer and those guys say. Of course, as we all know, we're not going to know a starter until the day of the game, but it is encouraging to hear Luke Doty is practicing, he's getting back to normal, and he himself is expecting to be ready to go for Saturday's game. So again, something we're definitely going to continue to follow very closely. One of the other things that really stood out to me, guys, and again, you can say it's coach speak, you can say it's just Shane Beamer saying what he's got to say, but what I picked up was I think Shane Beamer's a guy who's seen enough football, and especially being around Virginia Tech and being on that staff, and of course, Va Tech and ECU, it feels like they play all the time. I think Shane Beamer understands the challenge that is in front of his team this week. And I think he understands the challenge of playing at East Carolina. Like I said, it could just be coach speak. They could be saying in the building that, hey, we feel like we're going to beat this team 31-0. We're going to dominate. But I've seen a lot of fans, again, that have predicted blowouts for this game, that can't understand why people like myself and others are taking this game so seriously and giving ECU so much credit. And of course, you guys know I've been talking about this game all preseason long, all summer. You guys are probably like, man, let's just get this game over with so Chris will have something else to talk about. But I think Shane Beamer understands the challenge that lies ahead going to Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium. Again, I know some Gamecock fans, they scoff at the thought that this could be a close game or that South Carolina could ever be in a game where ECU has the opportunity to beat them. I don't think Shane Beamer is taking it that way. And like I said, of course, is it coach speak? I mean, what else is he going to say, that he thinks that they're going to blow him out? No, but Shane Beamer, very complimentary of ECU, very complimentary of their environment as well. And I think he gets what lies ahead this weekend and this Saturday. And certainly it's going to be a test and it's going to be a challenge for the Gamecocks football team this weekend, which, of course, guys, tomorrow and on Friday's show, we will break this thing down in depth, in detail, as South Carolina embarks on their first road trip of the 2021 football season. Final thing, guys, again, nothing crazy coming from Shane Beamer's presser yesterday. Pretty much standard operating procedure, business as usual. Beamer speaking on just correcting those mistakes. And again, improvement from week 1 to week 2. And we talked about this yesterday with Alex McGrath. What are the major pieces or the major areas you want to see South Carolina improve most from week 1 to week 2? Obviously, eliminating the penalties was something Shane Beamer has harped on the last couple of days. And I expect the Gamecocks to make a major improvement, especially on the offensive line. I think the offensive line is going to play much better. But again, correcting the mistakes, certainly going to be a point of emphasis for Shane Beamer and his football team. But again, pretty much a standard presser from Shane Beamer, if you will. Hey, also, we should highlight this. No new injuries to report, knock on wood. So I tell you what, after the last couple of years and the previous regime, hearing Shane Beamer just say that and say, hey, we're good, we're healthy, we're good to go on the injury front, that is such a relief. That is such a relief to hear from your head football coach. And it sounds like the Gamecocks should be as close to 100% as a football team as you can be when they go on the road looking for that big win in Greenville, North Carolina. All right, let's move to the gambling side of things, guys. And speaking of, best bet for South Carolina ECU is the Gamecocks travel to Greenville, North Carolina to take on the Pirates of ECU in a massive early season non-conference game. And folks, the line, the spread in this one has been a talking point all week long, and for good reason. Sunday afternoon, as you might recall, the Gamecocks opened up as a 2-point favorite. Within minutes, that line swung from Gamecocks -2 all the way across to ECU as a 4-point favorite. Since then, that line has come down. We even saw it early on Tuesday at a pick'em, but currently, as of Tuesday afternoon, East Carolina is a 1-point favorite in this ball game. Also seen some movement on the total as well. That was released, the total initially, I think around 55 or 55.5. Currently that sits at over under 58, the total in this ball game between the Gamecocks and East Carolina. Now, those of you tuned in, I know what you're thinking. Chris, the best bet, it's a no-brainer. Take the Gamecocks +1. Heck, take the Gamecocks money line because there's no way that ECU beats South Carolina. And first things first, I'll say this because many of you have questioned, Chris, how in the world is East Carolina favored against South Carolina? And first thing is this, guys, Vegas has no biases, okay? They're not Gamecock fans. They're not Pirate fans. The only bias that Vegas has is money. That's all they care about is money and making lots and lots and lots of it. But I think there are multiple factors as to why South Carolina finds themselves as an underdog in this football game. And guys, I'm as surprised as you. I really thought this spread was going to be around a field goal, maybe 3.5, 4 points. I am shocked to see ECU sitting as a favorite in this football game right now. But I think there are multiple factors that have caused that. I think number one, the question mark at quarterback for South Carolina. Will it be Zeb Noland? Will it be Luke Doty? That is not something Vegas likes to see. You're not going to get any favors done for you when you have a question mark at that position. Number two, South Carolina's success or lack thereof on the offensive line against EIU. Listen, guys, I think that's something to look at. Hey, I feel like the Gamecocks offensive line is going to improve and make a jump, but will they? Because you know what? ECU, do they have a great defensive front? No. I mean, App State gashed them for 6.4 yards per carry. However, South Carolina did not look great offensively on the line against EIU. And guys, the level of competition will take a major step up this week. So I think that's another factor. I also think there's still questions with South Carolina secondary that they are taking into account because ECU guys, and again, we're going to get more into it tomorrow and Friday, they do have athletes, and they have athletes that I think could give South Carolina trouble if the pass rush cannot get there. I also think the big thing, guys, and this might be the number one factor, I think what Vegas is banking on in this is they're saying this. They are banking on the overreaction from both sides in the sense of ECU lost to App State and looked terrible. South Carolina gets a big blowout win. They feel like there's going to be an overreaction to how bad ECU is and how good South Carolina is. Also, of course, the game being on the road, you jumble all of that together and you find yourself with this game basically being a pick'em or ECU even being favored. Now, I'll tell you this, because my best bet is not going to be on the spread. And again, some of you might call me crazy. Some of you might say, Chris, you got to take the Gamecocks. What are you doing? I'll tell you guys this. I had a buddy of mine that his dad bet on sports for a living, okay? He did it for a living. And he told me, he said, Chris, when you look at a game, in a game, the spread starts on one side. So what it means is one team is favored, right? And that line swings all the way across to the other side. You do one of two things. You either bet on the team that the line swung to the other side of. So in this case, that would be ECU, or you don't bet it at all because somebody knows something you must not know if there's that big of a line change. For the line to go all the way across to the other side, there's something you don't know. And again, I'm not speaking about this, guys, from the fan side of it. I'm talking to you about it from the gambling perspective. So you either bet on the ECU or you do not bet it. And I prefer not to bet on the Pirates in this situation. Now, the totals where I look at, and I'm very intrigued. Because initially, I think many people are, and you've seen the number go up from 55.5 to 58. The immediate reaction or the immediate thought is to take the over. And I'm actually going the other way, guys. I think the under 58, I think that is the best bet in this football game. I know many of you say, man, life's too short to bet the under. Life's too short to bet. Okay, Big Cat, I totally understand where you're coming from. But if you like winning money, life's not too short to bet the under in this football game. I'm not saying the Gamecocks are great defensively, but line of scrimmage, South Carolina should be able to get after Holt Nailers. They should be able to get in the backfield. And then offensively for South Carolina, listen, Is it going to be Luke Doty? Is it going to be Zeb Nolan? The return of Kevin Harris. But I think the Gamecocks will lean on the run game. I'm still not convinced they're going to be able to do much in the passing game. I think this is a little bit lower scoring game than people might think. For that reason, again, I like the under 58. Again, I think it's still early in season. These two teams are sort of figuring themselves out, and I think this will be sort of a blow-for-blow contest. I think the defenses are ahead of the offenses. They'll play a little bit better than expected. Under 58 is my best bet in this football game as the Gamecocks travel to ECU. So again, folks, the best bet so far on the year is 1-0. Lock in the best bet for this one. Under 58, South Carolina and East Carolina best bet. All right, let's go into SEC gambling picks, folks. Very excited for these because yours truly absolutely crushed it last week. Wow, we are off to one hell of a start, guys. 12-2. And that includes the best bet, of course. 12-2 in the first week, folks. If you rode my picks last week, you are very, very, very rich. And for that, I will say you are welcome. So again, guys, we're going to look to build on that. 12-2 early in the season. You could not have asked for a better start. And we got a great slate of games for week 2, guys. So of course, the SEC gambling picks, they are brought to you by our friends over at Prize Picks. Guys, very excited to tell you about Prize Picks, prizepicks.com, or go download the app. You use the promo code TSUS at sign up. You're going to receive a 100% instant deposit bonus match up to $100. Guys, it's the simplest fantasy game on the market focused around prop total entries. So what you do, you pick 2 to 5 players, and you can win up to 10 times on any entry. So we all know about lines and over-unders, but prop plays, right? Prop bets, right? It's something you can do. The over-under total on amount of touchdowns a player throws, or rushing yards, or pass attempts, or anything like that. You can now do that. And those are really fun, but now you can do it with college football as well, which no other service is offering that. Guys, we took Zeb Nolan over 1.5 passing touchdowns. That thing hit in the first half. You talk about making some easy money. Do it today with Prize Picks. They have no sharks, optimizers, or mass multi-entries, guys. It's just you against the projection. They also allow mixed sport entries, so you can take the over on LeBron parlayed with the under on Mahomes, or you can take the over on Zeb Nolan and partnered up with the under on Christian McCaffrey. Whatever you want to do, you can cross sports. You can stick with the same sport, whatever you like, guys. There are so many great options and so many great ways to win. They also have a slick, easy-to-use mobile app, guys, like I mentioned, on the App Store and Google Play. And Prize Picks is a 4.8 star rated in the App Store with rave reviews. Guys, like I said, a lot of listeners of the Spurs Up Show have been winning a lot of money with our friends at Prize Picks. So again, go to prizepicks.com and or download the Prize Picks app and use the code TSUS at sign up to receive a 100% instant deposit bonus match up to $100. Guys, it's the most fun fantasy game you can play with the prop plays. It is so much fun. The pick 'em, the entries you make, it's incredible. It's a blast. I've been doing it. Again, a lot of listeners have been doing it and been winning a lot of money. So again, prizepicks.com, download the app, 100% instant deposit match up to $100 using the code TSUS at sign up. All right, let's get to these SEC gambling picks for week 2, folks. We'll start Tennessee and Pittsburgh, one of the more intriguing matchups of week 2. Pittsburgh, a 3.5 point favorite, over under set at 57.5. Guys, you'd immediately jump to, will you take Pittsburgh? Tennessee's an dumpster fire. This game feels weird to me, but what I do think, it'll be a lower scoring game. Again, I know never bet the under. No, we're going to take the under because we like winning money. Under 57.5 in this one. I think it's a slugfest. Most likely Pitt wins, but I could see this game being a little bit closer than maybe people expect. South Florida against Florida. Gators, a 27.5 point favorite, over under set at 58.5. USF looked absolutely miserable last week against NC State. Meanwhile, Florida, quarterback issues, who's their starter, who's QB1. I don't know if the Gators win this game by 4 touchdowns, but there will be a lot of points scored. Over 58.5. I think Florida might hit that on their own, guys. Over 58.5 to play for me. UGA and UAB, Georgia coming off that huge win against Clemson. Georgia, a 24-point favorite. The over-under set at 46. Guys, Georgia's the real deal. They are on a mission. They are going to beat the brakes off of UAB. Give me dogs to cover minus 24. Colorado against Texas A&M. A&M a 17-point favorite. Over-under set at 50.5. Points, and more points over 50.5 in that one. I love the play there. Hammer it. Arkansas against Texas. Texas minus 6.5. Over-under set at 57. I love what Sam Pittman is doing at Arkansas. But Texas is better than Arkansas. I mean, that's just bottom line. Texas is better than Arkansas. They got more talent. They'll cover the 6.5. They'll win by 10 points. Give me Texas minus 6.5 in that one. Mississippi State against NC State. NC State, a 2-point favorite. Over-under set at 55.5. I want to take State to cover so badly, but the ACC has been such a dumpster fire early in this 2021 season. I just can't do it, but I like the over with Mike Leach. I think both teams will score 55.5. I think this is one of the easiest plays of the weekend, to be honest. Over 55.5 in the game against the Bulldogs and the Wolfpack. Kentucky, Mizzou. This is one hell of a game right here. The first SEC game, all SEC game of the season. Kentucky, a 4.5-point favorite. Over and set at 56. Guys, I know you're going to hate it. I like the Cats. I think the Cats cover. I think the Cats win this game by a touchdown. I think it's very close to spread, but I think Kentucky is a solid football team. I like what Will Levis did in week 1. Give me the Cats. Give me the Cats in this one, covering that minus 4.5. And our final game, Colorado State against the Vanderbilt Commodores. Colorado State, a 7-point favorite. Over and set at 51.5. Guys, I may not take Vandy ever all season. I mean, ETSU plus 21.5 was the easiest bet of the season. Vandy is terrible. Clark Lee in his first season, he don't know what the hell is going on. Colorado State sucks, but Vandy sucks more. Give me Colorado State to cover the 7-point spread. So again, guys, that's going to do it for the SEC gambling picks. Again, guys, like I said, 12-2 in week 1. How about we go undefeated this week? Why not? How about a perfect week? We're going to do it at one point this season. I'm telling you right now. But, yeah, looking to stay hot. We're hot right now already. One weekend, and we're already hot. You love to see it. So, like I said, guys, SEC gambling picks are in the books. Best bet for South Carolina ECU under 58. Hammer the under if you like winning money. Under 58, I've got in Greenville, North Carolina. But, guys, that's going to do it all for me here on this Wednesday. Again, folks, appreciate you all tuning in. Very excited to continue to win you money each and every single week. And very, very excited also this week to talk South Carolina, East Carolina as we count down the moments to kickoff. South Carolina's first road test of the 2021 football season and the first road trip of the Shane Beamer era. Going to be a really, really good time. Guys, again, thank you all so much for your continuous love and support. Seriously, appreciate y'all rocking with the content, rocking with everything we do. Like I said, do not forget, watch party this Saturday. You're in the upstate. Come out downtown Greenville when the Gamecocks take on ECU. Greenville, South Carolina will be in the upstate. Doors at 11, kickoff at noon. And if you tell them you're with TSUS, you get 10% off your entire order. Guys, that's going to do it all for me. Appreciate you all tuning in. You have a great rest of your Wednesday, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.